excited.
No problem at all. Go back down and tell Andy Pizza Cats is now on, please.
I'm gonna kill you.
More from the Samurai Pizza Cats next week. I've just been talking to Kim about life as a showbiz pop star on the road. Where were you last week?
Germany.
And where are you next week?
Paris.
And then where do you go?
I don't know.
See, it's tough on the road, isn't it?
It is, tough
You've
at the top.
got a lot of singles out in Europe at the moment. Which ones are doing well over there for you?
Well, Germany at the moment's on If You Cared.
Right.
In Paris, France, I'm still on GLAD.
Yeah.
And who knows where I'll be in Japan.
And what are you doing for us this morning?
I'm doing If You Cared.
Which is the current single in the UK. Kim, take it away.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Oh yes, I'm leaving now. I've had enough. I'm tired of you going strutting all of your stuff. I know that you've been seeing her next door. Don't tell me, baby, 'cause I heard it all before. 'Cause baby, I can see through your mind. You tell me you love me, but don't you waste my time. Yes, baby, I can see through your mind. You tell me you love me, but you're a waste of time. Putting on your fancy clothes, where you go I never know. You shouldn't do that. All around the town you go, dating all the girls I know. You shouldn't do that. If you care, you know I should have done this long ago. You were so bad for me, but how was I to know? You had me in a spin going round and round while you were gallivanting all around the town. 'Cause baby, I can see through your mind. You tell me you love me, but don't you waste my time. Yes, baby, I can see through your mind. You tell me you love me, but you're a waste of time. Putting on your fancy clothes, where you go I never know. You shouldn't do that. All around the town you go, dating all the girls I know. You shouldn't do that. If you care. Baby, I can see through your mind. You tell me you love me, but don't you waste my time. Yes, baby, I can see through your mind. You tell me you love me, but you're a waste of time. Putting on your fancy clothes, where you go I never know. You shouldn't do that. All around the town you go, dating all the girls I know. You shouldn't do that. If you care, 'cause baby, I can see through your mind.
Yeah! Stephen King, Appleby, that's If You Cared. Now, these are all the goodies that we gave away last week on the show. Short show this week, so we've no time to actually give away all the stuff. In fact, because you made such a mess of the rugby competition last week, we can't even do that this week anyway.
Yeah, but I'm only doing a bit... Yeah, we've had an official complaint from the important body of important people about your competitions, but they said you can make amends for it by taking us into the advert break.
Oh, right. Well, don't you think I might mess it up?
Yeah, probably,
actually, yeah. Forget it, Steve. See you in a minute.
Welcome back to this morning's Motormouth. Now, last week, you may remember, we promised you Hulk Hogan live in the studio, or rather, you did. So where is he?
Well, because I've built up muscles of steel, Andy, he refused to come on. He was too scared.
If Hulk Hogan won't come to Steve Johnson, we'll send Steve to the Hulk.
I love Fridays because I like getting back to my hotel, switching on the telly and watching the American wrestling. And one of the biggest stars of the WWF must be Hulk Hogan. Not only is he a big star, he's extremely dangerous. That's why he's sitting there and I'm sitting here. Hello, Hulk. Can I call you Hulk Hogan? Call you Mr. Hulk or Mr. Hogan?
Well, you're a friend of mine now, so you can call me the Hulkster.
Oh, the Hulkster. Well, that's a really big honour. And it's an honour to have you on Motormouth this week. You're over in England, not only known as a big wrestler, but you're going to be over here as a big film star. Tell us about your new film, Suburban Commando.
Well, right now we're getting ready to release Suburban Commando during Christmas time. And Suburban Commando is a guy named Shep Ramsey. The next thing you know, these Sector 4 bounty hunters, the bad guys, start chasing me. And I end up on Earth, and there's a man named Christopher, and I have to let Christopher Lloyd know I'm an alien,
right?
And then we fight him off.
Ah, brilliant. It looks like a very exciting film. I've seen clips of it. There were lots of kids in the film. Do you like kids?
Well, I have 2 children of my own. I have a 3-year-old daughter and a son that's 1-year-old, so I'm very in touch with the children. And all my little Hulkamaniacs all over the world know about the training, the prayers, and the vitamins. So one of the reasons I made Suburban Commando was so that all the kids could come to it, because it's an action, adventure, comedy film for the children, but also the adults.
How much of the actual Hulk Hogan, the person, is actually in the character of Shep?
Well, that's what's so funny. For 8 years now, I've been yelling and screaming at the children to train, say their prayers, and eat their vitamins, and I finally got everybody listening, even the adults. And sometimes it's hard to get the adults to listen because the kids are a lot smarter than the adults.
This is kids' telly, so we're not going to be watching any. Your kids are watching this one, so we don't worry about the adults.
Yeah, that's right. We're not worried about them.
No.
But the thing is, now that I've got everybody listening to me, I can let my guard down, and that's what I've done in this movie. You get to see Hulk Hogan, how I really am, when I'm not yelling and screaming. I'm just a normal person, but at first I'm an alien in the movie.
An alien normal person.
Yeah, an alien from outer space, a normal alien.
In the film, there were loads of special effects. Did you do your own stunts?
Well, I did almost all of my stunts, but the film company that pays all the money to have me do the acting, they were worried that maybe Hulk Hogan might get blasted through the ceiling when I had my rocket boots on, or sometimes my power amplifiers if I went to scratch my bald head.
Blow your head off.
Yeah, when the camera couldn't see the face, they would use a stuntman, but not very often. I like doing most of my own stunts because the kids want to see me in action.
You mean there's more?
Oh, yeah, mate. Next week we talk all about wrestling. I tell you, we got on so well. He said he'd come on the show at Christmas, so I better go and send him a card. Bye.
It's like Steve Johnson, isn't that, to arrange a Christmas card in October. Steve Johnson and Hulk Hogan live on Motormouth at Christmas. It's got to be a date for your diary.
Where are my glasses? Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry, little thing. Oh, sorry.
Oh, wow, man. Is that fantastic exploding birthday cake you built for Max?
Yeah, and I've rigged the remote control from that toy Ferrari to trigger the detonation.
Oh, I love explosions, me, pal.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. Oh, hi, Paul.
No, I'm Steve. Paul's over there.
All right. Hi, Paul. Have you seen my,
Glasses?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, how's the cake coming?
Great. I just need the battery pack out of the toy car now. You haven't, seen it anywhere, have you?
No. But could you just hold this turtle? I've got to go and find Max. Hi, Millie.
Yeah?
Millie, do you know where Max is?
It's in the lounge.
All right. Millie, are you sure you're eating enough?
Don't mind her, she's lost her glasses.
Oh, Juliet.
Hi, Max.
Hi.
No, you can't come in, you can't.
Why?
Because Paul and Millie are, well, they've got their hands wrapped around each other's throats
Look, I
now.
don't care if they kill each other. I've got to get in there to get the equipment for the cake item.
No, you've got to go upstairs and get Greg and Max from their dressing rooms.
I do?
Yes, you do.
Well, who's going to get the equipment for the cake item?
I am.
You are?
I am.
You are?
Goodbye.
Oh, my Juliet.
Oh, streamers. I always have to do the... There they are.
Millie's work is never done, eh?
No, Neil, could you give these to Juliet, please? Because I need to start my investigations. Somebody has pinched the toilet seat.
Sure. Did you say someone's pinched the toilet seat?
Yeah.
I thought that's what you said.
Chuck Yeager, the daring test pilot, descends into the cockpit of the revolutionary new cake plane.
Paul, some freak has nicked the toilet seat.
Millie, is that you?
Yeah.
Okay. Your mission, should you decide to accept it, is to pick up the remote control by your feet. Not literally, stupid.
Oh.
Okay, now you see 2 levers. One marked A,
Yeah.
and the other marked Kablamo.
Right.
Press the button marked Kablamo.
What now?
Well, in your own time.
Kablamo!
I am Giuseppe, the gondolier, and I've come to give you the keys to the city.
Is that it?
Well, it'll look better with streamers.
Stream. Ah! Oh.
Juliet,
No.
Millie asked me to give you these.
Oh, Neil. Brilliant. I was having such a bad time without them. Great, thanks. No, I need mine. Exactly. No, wait. It's okay. I've remembered it. Oh, it's engaged. Oh, we're running out of time. Max's birthday surprise is going to be ruined. Neil, you are a genius. Thank you. Oh, can you hold this? Great. Thanks very much.
A bucket full of cleaning utensils. A gold-plated weeping yogi. A tribute to Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. And I have to be careful with this. A pig and a piglet. But these are not all as they may appear, because they're not china, plaster of Paris, or even clay. These are cakes. Totally edible art. The work of the Crumbs cooks from London, Greg and Max. Welcome to Motormouth.
Hi there.
They are, aren't they? Crush your heart, hope to die.
Yeah,
those
honest.
are cakes.
Yes, it is.
Promise, yes.
So, how did all this cake making start, the elaborate cake making? Are you like trained chefs?
No, not at all. The first one we did was kind of bouquet of roses for my mum's birthday as a surprise. And somebody in the office I was then working at saw it and said, make one for my daughter. And we've never stopped since.
And how long does something like the pig that we've just seen take to make?
Well, it's not too complicated. It must take only about sort of 7 or 8 hours. So
Only 7 or 8 hours?
It's harder than it looks.
A mere drop in the ocean.
Yes,
Things have gone from strength to strength since those first flowers that you did for me, Mum.
They have
You've made
indeed.
some cakes for some famous people, haven't you?
Yes,
now, let's not be modest. Let's drop a few names. Come on.
Well, I suppose there's the Queen Mum's a fairly good name. There's Tina Turner, Level 42, Dire Straits, Albert Finney. But the best one, I think, was Fred Flintstone's 30th birthday.
And there you are with Fred,
a picture.
in glorious Technicolor, the wonders of modern technology. Fred Flintstone in black and white. So those are the elaborate things that you've done, and we know how much they cost. They're like £4,000, some of those cakes, so we won't touch those.
Right, so...
But I'm a complete novice, but I want to do something a bit special for a birthday. I think somebody backstage is celebrating a birthday, so something that I can do that's dead simple.
All right. We want to show you how to, if you're a complete novice, or in fact if you're an experienced cake maker, we want to show you how to do something very simple but very dramatic with marzipan. And here, as you can see, we've got 3 sheets of marzipan, variously coloured. This is left natural, that's white, then bright red and black.
How have you coloured those, man?
Well,
it's just food
this is the
colour.
food colour that you need, but it's the paste food colour. It's not the watery stuff that you buy in supermarkets. Paste, or else you won't get a deep colour.
That's what we need.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Now, all we're going to do is build up a pattern on the surface of the cake, which is a bit like patchwork.
Yeah.
And it's using this little hexagonal cutter there.
You can get those in any kitchen store.
That's right. Yep, absolutely. And all we're going to do is just cut out some of the shapes.
Right.
Okay, around there, and then build up the pattern. And you start in the centre of the cake, and you work outwards, and you never put the same colour next to the same colour.
It's like when you're tiling a floor, you always start in the middle of the floor and work outwards, and never at the edge and work in, isn't it?
Absolutely. And as you can see, that builds up really quite quickly.
That's quite a dramatic effect, isn't it?
It is, and you keep going till you get to the edge, and then you just trim it neatly to the edge, and you end up with something that looks very
and
much
in
like...
true live televisual style, here's one that the guys prepared earlier.
Now, we've just finished that off with a piece of ribbon and some of these taper candles, which look much better than little sort of squidgy ones that you usually use.
Because the important thing to remember is here is it's terribly simple, but if you go for dramatic colours and height, go for height with candles, not those little ones. Very bright ribbons, it looks very special.
It's incredible, isn't it?
Okay.
So,
Right,
even
so it's
even
really
a complete idiot novice like me could manage that.
And all you've got to try it when you get home, all right?
Okay.
Fine.
No.
What else can we do with marzipan?
You can mould it, you can actually do... Here we are. If you can't draw, the idea is...
And I can't.
No, I understand this. We took the idea of the parrot there, we thought, because it's so lovely and bright, and you just blow that up at your local photocopy shop,
Right.
and you trace off. So you've got this on a piece of greaseproof paper.
Yeah.
You cut round each of the feathers, different colours, and you place them one on top of another like that. And it is so simple, you don't have to be a great artist or anything.
It's terrific.
And
You've
it
got
takes
that on
about
a
10
slab,
minutes.
but you could put that on top of a cake.
That's right,
It's all,
yeah.
couldn't you?
Yep,
That's
that's right.
brilliant. So these are all cakes. We did promise you that those are completely edible. So we'll have a slice of cake later. Any chance of a cup of tea to go with me cake?
Well, I guess you could, yeah, have a cup of tea out of there. That's fine.
Sounds perfectly marvellous. Little drink of the cup of tea and... Told you it was all edible, didn't I? Completely edible. Gentlemen, thank you.
It's a pleasure. Thank you very much.
So, Max, it's really wonderful to be here on Motormouth. I mean, we're all talking about it in Los Angeles.
Really? Well, I'm not surprised, because we've had some Hollywood stars. We've had Michael J. Fox and Lenny J. Henry, Hollywood stars.
That's fun. You know, I was just sitting down at breakfast with Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger, and they were kind of quibbling over who would be able to come on Motormouth first.
Oh, well, if you see them again, tell them not to get too excited, because we're very selective and we might not have them on at all, you see.
Oh, well, maybe if the ratings drop or something like that, they could maybe...
Well, I'm just hoping things won't ever get that desperate.
Yeah, I see.
But you must tell me, it must be great being an actor and getting to travel around.
Oh, yes, it's brilliant. I mean, you get to take advantage of peacetime, and, you know, we've been traveling throughout promoting a new movie and that sort of thing. Yeah, all over Europe. It's been...
Have you ever been to Venice?
Venice, yes, my fiancé and I were just in Venice. It's brilliant.
Really?
It's
Your
so
fiancé
romantic.
and you're in Venice?
Yes, it's beautiful.
Because, you see, it's always been my dream to go to Venice.
Has it?
Yeah, I can see myself on the Bridge of Sighs, standing
You know
there.
what? I have a letter here.
Oh, how kind. How did you know it was my birthday? How
Is it
sweet
your
of you.
birthday?
Yes?
In all actuality, this letter isn't for you, though. This letter is for Paul. His father came to me on a set of Warner Brothers and asked me to deliver this to him because
So
he
it's
knew I
not
would be
for
on
me? It's for Paul?
In actuality, Max, it's not for you, but happy birthday nonetheless.
Thanks for nothing. Let's go and find Paul.
Come on,
practice.
To you. Happy birthday.
I think you need these, you know.
No, I don't need them. I'm an expert. I've done courses, you know. I could arrange flora in my sleep. Come on.
Happy birthday to you.
Quiet, we don't want him to hear. Happy birthday, dear Max. Happy birthday to you. Well, that's not very good, but if you keep practicing, I'm sure it'll be all right. See you later.
You know, that Hulk Hogan movie was really great, but it's a long way to the top. It took my dad a long time before he got a crack at Argus. You know, the sponge monster.
Yeah. Oh, hi. How's the cake coming?
Well, it's completely complete.
Fantastic.
And I put extra explosives underneath the elevator pad, so Giuseppe the gondolier is going to come out of that thing like a bat out of hell.
Wonderful.
All we need is the person in place.
The person.
In place.
Yeah, but... thank you, person.
You get to be Giuseppe the gondolier.
I don't want to be Giuseppe the gondolier.
You don't want to ruin Max's birthday either, do you, Millie?
No.
Come on, the cake.
I'm a bit worried about this explosion thing.
Well, you see, that's why I have to be out here. I've got to supervise all the technical
Yeah,
details.
but can you give that to Millie?
Okay, sure, hold on a second.
Oh, now, Millie, I don't want you to worry, Millie, because with Paul in charge of the controls, everything's going to be just fine and dandy. See you later.
Okay.
Here, look, hold these.
Yeah, thanks. Now, what do I have to say?
Okay, I am Giuseppe the gondolier, and I've come to give you the keys to the city.
I'm Giuseppe the gondolier. I've come to give you the keys to the city.
Millie, do it with a bit more panache. You know, you're supposed to be from Venice.
Right.
I am Giuseppe the
gondolier,
gondolier.
and I've come to give you the keys of the city.
You seen that remote control anywhere?
Don't tell me. They're still fighting.
Yes, they are, exactly, Max.
Well, look, it doesn't matter because Sean is perfectly used to rows because he works in Hollywood.
Well, you can't go in now, but you can go in a couple of minutes. Hi, Sean.
Hi. We have to go in now because
Right.
Paul has got a letter from America for Paul.
Right.
Yes, I have a letter that has to be delivered by hand.
Well, I'll tell you what, Sean, if you hand it to me by hand, I'll hand it to Paul by hand.
Oh, that'll be handy enough.
Okay, well...
Right.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
just turn your hand over. Right,
Oh, okay.
there it is.
Lovely. Thank you so much. Goodbye,
right.
Max. See you later.
Right, sure.
Bye.
Count on it.
Yes. Hi, guys. Hi. Come through. Come through. What we're going to do is we're going to sing happy birthday.
Okay, now look, remember to keep your mouth shut when the charges go off, otherwise you could bite your tongue in half.
What? Just going to stand over there. That'd be lovely. Okay? Just over there with Steve and Neil. Right. Great.
Juliet,
Okay, ready?
I need the remote control now. Juliet, have you got the remote control?
Oh, just take that.
This is a letter from my dad.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Max. Happy birthday to you.
Explosion.
I haven't got the remote control.
I am Giuseppe the gondolier. I've come to give you the keys of the city.
Gabby, do you want this?
Oh, thank you very much. Oh, I'll just leave it here.
There it is.
Okay, thank you.
No.
Thank you, Sean. Yes, Sean Astin is in the studio, the heartthrob from Memphis Belle and more recently from Toy Soldiers. But Memphis Belle is now out on video, you can buy it in the shops.
Yes,
Can you just give us, for the people who haven't seen it, and I'm sure everybody has seen it, for the people who haven't, can you tell us briefly what Memphis Belle's about?
Well, sure. For the people who haven't seen it, it's about a B-17 bomber called the Memphis Belle. that was the first B-17 to complete its 25-mission tour of duty over here in England during the Second World War.
So it's actually based on truth, is it?
Well, it's roughly based on truth. It's somewhat fictionalized, but the actual veterans of the war talked to us, and they sort of, gave us little things to put in it that would make it a little bit, closer to the truth. But it's based on fact. Yeah.
Must have been fascinating to me.
Yeah,
though,
it was unbelievable. One of my most brilliant memories of being in England was sitting in a pub and listening to their old sort of war stories and the kind of youth they had on their face, and the brilliance of the stories and everything.
Well, in the first clip we're going to see from Memphis Belle, this is where we see the sort of characters that he was in the film with. Did you spot Harry Connick Jr.? I certainly did. Now, in the film, you all seem to get on incredibly well. Was it the same off-set?
Yeah, it was. We had a wonderful sort of camaraderie. Before we started the movie, we went down to the south of England and had a boot camp or a training session where we all kind of got to see each other intimately and tired and rugged and all that sort of stuff. So during the off moments of the film, we'd all go to the theater, go out to dinner, or do whatever. It's really
Do you still see them now?
Occasionally. I think we have sort of accelerated schedules and everything, and luckily we've all been able to keep working after the movie, so...
That's good news. Well, we're going to find out some more personal things about you, because Big Magazine and Motormouth competition winners are here this morning, and they are about to grill you. You don't know what they're going to ask you. I do. Ha-ha. Claire, you're first, if you'd like to ask Sean your first question.
Have you ever had an off-screen romance with any of your co-stars?
Have I ever had an off-screen romance with any of my co-stars? No. I did a movie called Like Father, Like Son, and there was a cat and a dog that switched brains, and I almost snatched the dog up from the movie set. But other than that, no real romances to speak of.
But if there was anybody out there, I mean, who would be your ultimate date? Apart from your fiancée, who's here today,
yes,
Christine.
of course. I mean,
sorry.
that's my sort of wonderful answers that I've always got my love of my life to fall back on, who's Christine.
That's lovely. She's here today, so hi, Christine. There we go. Yeah. And you've also got a question. Yeah. This is Emma. Go on, Emma.
Hi, Emma.
Hi. The place you were living in burned down. What would you rescue first?
Christine.
Oh. What would be the second thing?
The second thing, as far as physical possessions, I don't think there's anything that's so necessary that I would take it. Maybe. We actually have a dog together. His name is Lord Byron. He's a Siberian Husky, so maybe I'd make sure that Byron was out safe. But I think the most important thing, is that all right to say? That just to get out of
To get out of the house, that's probably a very good idea. That is probably the best thing to say. Now, going back to Memphis Belle, you were 19 years old in the film, the character you played. Was you at 19 anything the same?
Oh, anything the same as being a 19-year-old in World War II or that sort of thing?
Yeah, were you the same at 19 as you were in the film?
I think so. I mean, there's a certain rambunctiousness and athleticism and sort of enthusiasm that the character had that I think I hopefully still have. I mean, now that I'm 20, I hope haven't sort of fallen down on the other side of the hill yet. But yeah, I think just that kind of energy was probably equal.
Great, well, but now let's go back to the film. We've got another clip, and this is the final scene where they find out where their last mission is going to be. It's going to come up. Right, Emma, you've got your next question.
Hey, right. If there was anything you're allergic to, or have you got any phobias?
Allergic to? I luckily have no allergies.
Oh,
but,
you're a lucky person.
But allergic, I think I'm allergic to Brussels sprouts.
Oh, actually, I agree with you. And Claire, you've got your last question.
Who do you most admire?
Who do I most admire? Well, I think from an acting standpoint, someone like Marlon Brando. I think Stella, but I also hopefully eventually will become a director, and I admire people like John Ford and that. Do you know who John Ford is?
I think so.
You think so? You've heard of him?
Yeah.
Great, well done, girls. Thank you very much. Congratulations for winning the competition.
Nice to meet you, Claire.
Memphis Belle out on video at the moment, and Toy Soldiers out in the cinemas.
Yes, it is indeed. It just opened. It's doing relatively well, I hope. So go see it, please.
Yeah. And we actually have a competition. If you haven't seen Memphis Belle, or you haven't hired it on video, you can buy it at the moment, or you can win it through us here at Motormouth. But not only that, you can win model the jacket. This jacket, the Memphis Belle jacket. Actually, you haven't got one, have you?
No, I don't. They wouldn't let me keep it on the movie.
Typical.
Can you believe that?
Film stars for you.
Well, there it is.
Now, if you'd like to win the jacket, that's the winning prize and a video, all signed by Sean. And the two runners-up will also win a video. This is the question. Sean, if you'd like to give them the question.
The question is, how many crew members were there on the Memphis Belle?
Okay, how many crew members on the Memphis Belle. Sean, thank you very much, girls.
Thanks very much.
Congratulations. Get your answers into this address. Sean Astin competition, Motormouth, PO Box 1, Maidstone, Kent, ME14 5LL. Sean Astin competition, Motormouth, PO Box 1, Maidstone, Kent, ME14 5LL. There we are. So get your entries in as soon as possible. Toy Soldiers out, Memphis Belle in the shops. You two girls, you'll see them in Big Magazine. They've been photographed all morning. Sean, I know you've got to rush off, so thank you very much. And keep your letters coming in to the same address.
Hey, Julia, you know this letter you gave me? It's from my dad. He says that he's going to come over from California next week, and he was wondering if he could have a tour around the studio.
That's amazing.
You're not listening to me, are you?
Yes?
Okay, what did I say?
Okay, you said that your greyhound had just won the steeplechase and you were going to Australia to celebrate.
Fine, just checking.
Okay, now look, I've got to find this remote control, okay?
Well, it's too late. Max has seen the cave.
It's not too late, Paul. It's worth a try.
Well, it's hardly likely to be in there anyway.
Well, I'm going to look anyway.
Juliet.
He's tangled up in my glasses.
Hey, don't take your glasses off. Remember what happened the last time.
Okay, well, like, I'm going in.
Now, look, Juliet, now be careful. Don't...
I'm in.
Be careful.
I'm there. Blimey, Max, it's the Terran Inferno.
What a vivid imagination you have, Millie. No, seriously, if the Crumbs cooks hadn't been here to make me this lovely pedestrian precinct, my birthday could quite easily have turned into a non-event.
Well, thanks very much.
So thanks to you.
Thank you.
It does look nice.
Yeah.
Are you ready, everyone?
No, Max, we've got to wait for Juliet and Paul.
Oh, all right then.
So, Max, it's been wonderful. I'm off now.
Oh, you know, but it's just time to cut the cake.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can't stay. Maybe you could mail me a piece.
Well, yes, if it's got some preservative in it, perhaps it's got some embalming fluid or something.
See you, Sean. Max, I'll go and get Juliet and Paul.
Yeah,
okay.
It's been really marvellous.
Oh, thanks so much.
You know, next time you cross the herring pond, do pop in and see us, won't you?
Of course, if you'll have me.
I will, of course.
All right, brilliant.
Okay.
Cheers.
Best of luck. Bye.
Oh,
you said great. Yes, yes.
I forgot. You might need this. There it is.
Oh.
Right. Cheers.
Thank you.
Be safe with it.
See you, yeah. A. Kablamo.
Oh, happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Sounds to me like they've started the backstage party already, doesn't it?
We should be there.
Well, that's the end of our little offering for another week. Next week, we will be back with all the usual goodies, cartoons, music, Steve messing things up.
That's not fair.
What have we got next week? We've got football with a difference, and we've got Terry Nuckins. He's going to be very fishy next week.
I'll be sending me tutu to the dry cleaners and then slipping into a leotard because I'm doing a bit of ballet with Wayne Sleep.
I can't tell you how I'm looking forward to that.
I bet you are.
There's going to be a lot of teeth around because the Osmond boys are in, as in Donnie and Wayne and all of the people I used to kiss their posters of when I was little. Their sons are coming into the studio next week.
You'll be kissing their sons as well, won't you?
And no, I won't. And an act from our Chaos will be live in the studio.
Eyes and teeth with the Osmonds, and especially teeth. Hey, PM Dawn's going to be here, and part 2 of you know,
Hulk Hogan. I'm down the gym all week, mate.
Is he really coming back at Christmas?
Yeah, he should be on at Christmas. It'd be brilliant.
Good stuff. Well, we're going to leave you now with Slade, Radio Wall of Sound, and special guest DJ, MC Craney Crane. See you next week.
Bye.